Now you've developed your own coaching, your own course, your own university to teach people how to master and monetize with property wholesaling, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Guys,
awesome, man. All right, guys, it's Angelo Christian with another awesome edition of Real Estate Insider. Today, I have a very special guest, Chris Rood with Property. He's one of the master real estate investors, property flipper, property wholesaler. Today, he's going to educate the audience, all of us, on what is property flipping, wholesaling. I didn't even know what any of this stuff was when I first got into the industry. I didn't even know there was opportunities for 7 figures with property flipping, property wholesaling. And so this is one of the masters in this space, in this domain. It's a different sector than me. With me, I do the mortgage originations on the primary market for commercial mortgages, residential mortgages, a whole different side with real estate investment, with apartment complexes. Chris's domain of expertise is in the property flipping and the wholesaling. So he's going to educate all of us today because he has a whole training course on property flipping and property wholesaling. So we're going to learn about this today with the master, Chris Rood. So Chris, thank you so much for taking the call today and being here on the show. So if you could, please tell us, everything about who you are, let the world know who you are, what you do, and the master of property flipping and wholesaling.
Well, yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the big introductory.
We love your stuff, dude. We actually saw you at 10X, dude. You're killing it, dude. Your name was everywhere out there.
Yeah, man. I'm a big believer in branding yourself and promoting who you are and what you do and how you do it. Guys, I'm 37 years old. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I was, selling baseball and basketball cards when I was in 5th grade to people trying to make a spread. I've always had that entrepreneur spirit in me. At 22 years old, I started an oil change, car wash, and mechanic shop and glass business out of the back of my truck while I was in college going to school. And I ended up turning that into a huge chain of quick lube car wash and mechanic shops out of the back of my truck.
Wow.
From right when I graduated right when I graduated college. All my buddies would go and get jobs, and I had a 7 or 6 figure salary just from changing oil out of the back of my truck and fixing cars, going mobile, right?
That's crazy.
So I was like, man, I'm not going to get a job, to make 30, 40, 50 grand like my buddies. I'm gonna keep doing this. So I ended up I kept doing that, and I scaled that into 4 locations here in my area. I had 33 employees at one time. But the way I got to that point, though, is that on the side, I was flipping real estate. I flipped my first house when I was 25, and I made $125,000.
Wow. How did you even know how to do that? How would you even know how to do that?
Well, that was I got lucky on that. I don't want everybody to think that you can make $125,000 on your first flip. That was actually by chance. That was really, make a long story short, 2005 hit Katrina. Remember Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans?
Yeah, for sure.
We had a huge influx of people that left New Orleans that came to Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and Houston. And all those people came in, and there was a shortage of houses. And I was like, man, my house just doubled in value. So I said, Patty, let's go ahead and flip our house. So we painted the inside, landscape the front, put it for sale, and I made my house doubled in value. So we flipped it for 25,000.
Wow.
Took that money and bought our first oil change location, a physical location here in Lafayette, which was a phenomenal location, and flipped a few more properties. Took that money, dumped it into a couple more locations. We had like 4 locations one time with 33 employees. We did really well with that for a while. 5-6 years later, I kind of over that 5 or 6 year period of time, I didn't really do any real estate because I got so busy and I was making so much money with my shops that I kind of got away from real estate. But then I got back into real estate 5-6 years later. I took all the capital I was making and I was buying a bunch of single family homes to rent. I bought about probably $2.5-3 million worth of single family homes off of MLS.
Wow.
With just making a ton of offers, right? Making 20-30 offers, just trying to get a deal here and there. And I was doing pretty good with that. The market was on fire at that time over here where I was at in the South because the price of the barrel of oil was $128 a barrel. We're heavily dependent on oil and gas, just like you guys over in, I think you're in Houston or Dallas.
Right.
But 2014 hit, and oil went from $128 a barrel to $28 a barrel, and we lost like 22,000 jobs here in Lafayette.
Yep. Yep.
Well, unbeknownst to me, I was like, I wasn't used to this, so I lost like 40% of my revenue in my shops, like because most of our business came from fleet accounts. Half of my rentals went vacant because all the people that I was renting to were all working offshore, and they all lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So I went like negative cash flow with all of my shops and my single family homes. But right around the same time, I've stumbled upon this little niche thing in real estate called wholesaling on YouTube.
Okay.
And I was like, what's this wholesaling thing? What is all this about? Well, how do you wholesale real estate? So I was like, I dug deeper into it. I kind of watched a couple of YouTube videos, and I couldn't quite wrap my mind around it. So I hired like 3 mentors back to back to back.
Oh, okay.
And I crushed it. Like I literally made $47,000 by myself with no help on the side while I'm still running my shops.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting.
So I ended up, what happened was after that first month, I made $47,000 net. You know how hard it is for me to make. I don't think I ever made $47,000 net in 1 month from all of my shops combined, right?
Wow.
Having 4 locations and 33 employees.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So I told my manager, I said, hey, look, I'm done. I found something else. I threw him the keys. I said, don't call me unless somebody's dying. So I went all in with wholesaling, guys. And if you don't know what wholesaling is, by the way, it's basically what wholesaling is. It's the art of marketing, or it's the art of capturing a bunch of equity on deals by marketing to motivated sellers, right?
Okay.
We're sending out a bunch of marketing. We're looking for distressed owners. People are going through foreclosure, loss their job transfer, inherited house. It's basically they're motivated to sell their house, right? It's basically that, it's the art or science of finding heavily discounted off-market properties for motivated sellers.
I see.
So it's like a perfect storm, right? The economy crashed. There was a lot of motivation in my area, so it's like deals everywhere.
Right.
So I just went all in with wholesaling, and I started making 60, 70, 80,000. Then I started doing 6 figures a month just wholesaling, and I never looked back. And I was like the top student in all 3 of the programs. I was like their top student. They asked me to go work in their sales department to help enroll other students. So I did that also while I was wholesaling.
Wow.
And kind of learned the inner workings of how a coaching company works. And I figured out that I was better at coaching, and I was a better wholesaler than my coaches. So I was like, I need to be doing this. I needed to be coaching people on how to do this.
Right.
So went
That's
off on my
awesome,
own and started a coaching company, and here I sit,
dude.
man. I'm just showing people how to do this across the United States. We've got tons of students killing it across the U.S. and Canada. Matter of fact, my most successful student's from Canada.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So he's doing this in another country.
Yes, we have a Canadian version of this program.
That is awesome, man. That is so. I mean, basically, in a sense, you could brand this. It doesn't matter where you are, is what you're saying.
The real estate laws across the world are pretty much the same, besides some small little tweaks.
Sure. There's little nuances. Yeah.
And just so you guys know, I kind of didn't touch on what wholesaling. Like I said, it's the art of finding heavily discounted off-market properties for motivated sellers. But we're not actually flipping their house. We're getting the house under contract, and we're flipping the contract. So we don't need a bank loan.
Okay.
We don't have to have capital to buy their house. Like we're controlling the house or the asset.
So I want to make sure right there, Chris. So property wholesaling is not property flipping.
Yeah, the best way to kind of compare it is like it's like a pawn shop, right? Like they're or like let's just say an automobile, right? When you trade in your car, right? How many people trade in their car and lose a lot of money just to get out of it to solve their problem, to get into another car? Most
people do, yeah.
Most people do. And there's a lot of people that do the same thing with houses. It's not always about the money. Like sometimes they need to sell, they need a quick sale, right? So what I do is we get their house under contract with an assignable contract. And when we get their house under contract for say 60 cents on the dollar, from there, we go find a cash buyer and we assign our rights to the contract to an investor.
Gotcha.
And pays us a fee of say 10, 15, 20,000, and we never even own the property.
Oh my God! Wow.
Transfer our rights. So
you have
to the
no
contract.
risk. You have no risk.
There's no risk.
Oh, wow. And you don't need bank financing.
You don't need bank finance. And now, if you want to keep the property and flip it yourself, obviously you would need to do that. Now, there is a thing called transactional funding. Like sometimes you may make a lot of money on a deal. You may have captured a house and bought it at 40 cents on the dollar, and you got it sold at say 65 cents on the dollar, and you might make 30, 40, 50 grand on the property. You may want to do what's called transactional funding, where you find somebody to buy the house for you. Or you just borrow their money for like an hour. You close on it and you turn around and sell it within that next hour. It's called transactional funding.
Oh, wow.
Just to hide all your numbers, because you may be making a lot of money on a deal. Sometimes, the buyer or the seller may find out how much money you make, and they may not like that you're making 40, 50 grand on the property.
Yeah.
That would be the only time that you would buy to actually close on the property. But besides that, you're just assigning your rights to the contract to an investor without ever having to buy the property. The only thing you have is your time and marketing expense.
So here's the thing it's amazing. So basically, just to summarize, you were running, your oil and repair shop, and then, the economy hit with the oil tanked. And so basically, just to summarize, you hit kind of like a rock bottom, and then you saw a YouTube video about property flipping. You got into it, you mastered it, you became better than your mentors, your coaches. Now you've developed your own coaching, your own course, your own university to teach people how to master and monetize with property wholesaling, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, that's
guys,
awesome,
I'm so passionate about wholesaling. It literally saved me. I have 5 kids, right? Me and my wife have been together for 20 years. I was going to go bankrupt. Like if I wouldn't have got into wholesaling, I was going to lose everything. It was that bad. God. The economy got that bad here where I live in Louisiana. We lost 22,000 jobs just in Lafayette.
Yeah.
So like it was a saving grace for me. And it's such an awesome business, because you're not trading your time for money like I was doing when I was working on cars, changing oil, changing brakes, windshields, tires, all that stuff. You're literally exchanging a skill set. Like you're not trading your time no more. Like you're trading your skill set, and you get paid handsomely for it. Now there are a lot of nuances that you need to be good at. You need to be good with people. Right. You're dealing with a lot of motivated people, a lot of distressed people. So you got to have people skills. That's why my brand is what skills get the deals. Like you got to have mad people skills.
Right.
I tell my students, like, we're like the highest paid counselors, right? That's kind of what we are. We're helping people who are really distressed, who want to sell their house.
So
fast,
when you say people skills, when you say people skills, are you talking about persuasion and influence and stuff like that, or?
Well, it's building rapport, persuasion, showing them that you're the best fit for them and that you can help them, right? Because they need to sell their house like within a week, 2 weeks, sometimes a month, and they don't want to deal with a realtor. Like they're not, everybody thinks everybody wants to deal with realtors. That's not the case. Like some people have depression, some people are hoarders, some people are introverts. They maybe had a bad experience with a realtor. They're depressed. They don't want people, like if you list your house, you may have to show it 10, 15 times before it gets sold. And it may take 3 to 6 months to sell your house.
Right.
So some people in certain situations, they're not necessarily wanting to do that. They may want to just a fast sale, and they're willing to trade out equity in order for a quick sale.
Right. I got you. Okay. And then your course, you're teaching the people basically, I guess, how to handle these situations, where to find the leads, and then how to find the buyer. Does your course teach that?
Basically, we're showing people how to find buyers.
Okay.
How to find sellers.
Okay.
And how to match them together and do the marketing, right? This is a professional marketing business is all it is. When you have a wholesaling business set up, you're a professional marketer.
That is awesome, man. That's really cool. And then, so I guess just to go back to your point earlier, you said you had a student in Canada. So, people, even though you're in Louisiana, students can do this in Florida. They can do it in Texas. That doesn't matter, right?
I have students in almost every state in the U.S.
Okay. And so now, is your training course, your platform, is it online? Do they have to download it? Do they have to go somewhere physically? How does it work?
Yeah, so the course is about 14 and a half hours long. It's all online. It's a downloadable course. As soon as you enroll, we email it to you with login access and passwords to the course. Mm-hmm. You just go through it. If you need more help after that, we have more one-on-one coaching or group coaching, or maybe you just want a course. We have every different price point to fit the student's needs.
Okay, so the course is it video based?
It's all videos. Yes, it's online videos, just like this.
Okay, just like video like this. And then you're saying that you even offer a a VIP type package that if the student wants more one-on-one coaching, they can work with you directly. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
So what they can do is they can actually come and hang out with me in my office and come shadow me for a day or so.
Oh, wow.
We have those kind of options. We have
Wow.
group coaching where they can jump on group coaching calls for.
That's awesome, man. That is really, really cool. And so now, are you still there, Chris? Okay, there you are. Okay.
Here.
All right. So now do you have a website?
Yeah, they can go to they can go to chrisrood.com.
chrisrood.com. Okay.
Yeah. And maybe they're not in a situation where they can actually buy the course. What they can do is, I have a free book. I just wrote a book called The Source of the Deal, and it's my whole story about kind of a 50-foot summary of what I just told you. But they can go to www.thesourceofthedeal.com and and download my free ebook if they want.
Oh, so you're an author too. Wow. Okay, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Really, really cool. So you guys should definitely check out his book as well, because it's a free download, and he shows you exactly what he just talked about in the summary of a book. And then that will, if you're interested, you can go to chrisrood.com. I would highly recommend. See, one of the things I really like about what you're saying is that you teach the person, the student, how to do it, and there's virtually no risk on it. They don't have to take bank financing. They don't have to put their credit on the line. They don't have to take on capital for rehab. So it's really, really cool. It's a pocket. It's a niche in the real estate industry where basically you're matching buyers and sellers, and then you're doing the marketing. And by doing that, you can make a ton of money. There's huge upside, but it sounds like there's very little downside risk, but there's huge upside. Is that right?
That's 100% right. I mean, the only risk you have is your time going look at the properties, and the little bit of money that you have to spend in marketing. I mean, there is a capital expense of money spent on trying to find seller leads, via direct mail, Facebook ads, PPC, SEO, whatever it is, RVMs, whatever, all the different strategies that we're going to teach you.
I got you. So, and then the other thing, do you also teach the students on how to do to run comps or to do evaluation? Because you're talking about 40 to 60 cents on the dollar. How do they know that?
Yeah. So the modules, it's like 15 modules inside the course. So it goes over step by step, like from the sequence of, what is wholesaling, mindset you need to have, how to find sellers, how to find buyers, how to go on the appointments, how to negotiate, how to build rapport, how to make an offer, how to calculate the ARV, how to calculate the repair costs, how to find an attorney, how to close the deal.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, that is really. And then the other thing is that, let's say that somebody has a 9-to-5, they have a career. Could they do property wholesaling on the side while they're trying to learn it?
Absolutely. I mean, I have a couple of, matter of fact, I just got an inbox from one of my students that he just closed his second deal. He's from Houston. He just closed his second deal, and he has a full-time all-field job where he works like 50, 60 hours a week, and he's already done the second deal. So it's definitely doable. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's easy. Any guru that sits there and tells you, hey, it's easy, anybody can do it, they're misleading you. I mean, it's work like anything else, but it's a highly paid work. Like, I mean,
for your time.
Yes, you're not, like I said, you're not picking up a hammer trying to, like, you're trading out a skill set. Like, you're just flipping contracts, and you can make 10, 20, 30 grand a pop.
Right. So I guess what I like about it is that people could technically, even a stay-at-home mom or someone that's, retired, or maybe somebody that is they want to prove concept with your course, they can try it on the side. And then basically once they start to roll in some money, then they can scale it out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You will. I mean, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you will have to go on some appointments. So, I mean, you may have to bring the kids with you to go talk to some of these homeowners, but it's definitely doable. Or you can just get a partner and send somebody out there to go look at the house.
Right.
I mean, most of the people most of the people that have full-time jobs that do this and working a lot of hours, they just get a partner, and they trade value. One pays for the marketing, the other one does the work.
Gotcha. No, one thing I really like about your course, though, is that you're helping people to monetize and boost their income. And that's a huge problem in the United States right now is, wages are really down and people need more income so they can have a great life. And if somebody can make an extra $50,000, $100,000 a year by learning your skill set, and then that makes all the difference, right? So it's really good that you're helping people to, you know, transform and rise and have a better quality of life. And it seems like they don't need to go to school for 4 years to learn it. They can just do 15 hours of your course, and then you even offer up your time where they can shadow you to even get deeper level understanding. So that is really, really cool, man.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a cool business, guys. I've done a lot of different hustles. This is like it's the highest paid grind out there. I mean, for the least amount of capital, least amount of risk. I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, look what it costs guys to get into a Subway franchise. It costs you like $70,000 to buy into a Subway franchise. Then you got to buy a brick and mortar building. Then you got to buy and get employees. And then you're not even guaranteed to make a profit.
That's right. I mean,
if you do this and it doesn't work out, you're not out. Like, you're really not out a lot. It's a safe, proof business, and it's highly profitable.
I do. I like it a lot, man.
This is the best way to imagine what I do. I'm like the Amazon of real estate. All I'm doing is matching motivated sellers with cash buyers, and I'm that Amazon putting those two together. I'm not a realtor. Realtors are dealing with more people who are not distressed, who want full retail. I'm dealing with people who are motivated, who want to sell fast, who don't want to deal with a realtor.
Yeah.
Distressed properties.
No, let me ask you about that. That's a good question you brought up. Do you have to be licensed to do this?
You do not have to have a real estate license.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep. You do.
That's a no-brainer, guys. If you're out there and you're wanting to make extra money, you don't have to be licensed. You have basically no downside. You have massive upside. It doesn't take 100 hours a week to do it. So it's a no-brainer to check this out. You can even get a copy of his free book out there to show you how he does it. I met this man. He was at 10X with Grant Cardone. He's a reputable. He's been on Power Players. He's a published author. He's made millions of dollars in real estate. You got to check out Chris Rood. Get his book. We're going to actually be featuring his whole property wholesaling suite on our Real Estate University. You can actually get and download the whole thing there through our Real Estate University, because, you know, Real Estate University is an accredited through the NMLS, and you'll be able to use and learn how to master property wholesaling. It's a whole other avenue than what I teach, but it's definitely something essential, because you want to be as dynamic as possible to understand the different parts of wholesale. I didn't even know all this stuff about wholesaling, that you could do, that he just taught us. So that's really, really cool, man, that you basically can make an extra 6 figures a year, even 7 figures, and you don't have to take on all the risks. Like, you know, I own and operate a bank. You know, it cost me over $10 million to start this company and build this out. And he's telling you, you don't have to take on any of that risk. So it's a really, really cool thing that I really like a lot.
Well, even if you're just an investor, guys, you don't even have to be a newbie. Like, wholesaling would change your portfolio. Like, I have we own about $14 million worth of real estate. And, you know, since I've started a wholesaling business 4 years ago, like, I capture so much, the deals I get are so much more beefier equity wise now that I have a professional wholesaling business, because I'm not buying my houses on MLS. I'm going off market, direct to seller, and I'm literally buying properties at 40, 50, 60 cents on the dollar every other day. And we're huge on mobile home parks, and we're crushing it with mobile home parks, and we're just using our wholesaling business to buy more newer mobile homes and haul them into our park, and we're getting them for pennies on the dollar using the wholesale method.
That's incredible. So you're not even working with realtors.
I'm not even what?
You're not even working with realtors.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
I say that every now and then they'll send me a deal. Like, you definitely want to network with realtors and tell them, hey, you're an investor, you're looking for off-market properties, send me your pocket listings. You definitely want to do that and just let everybody know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
But no, not directly. I'm not going on MLS and buying deals on MLS.
Yeah, and then when you sell them, you don't need a realtor either, though, is what you're saying.
No, you don't need a realtor. I mean, if the smart investors, the really smart real estate investors are not buying off of MLS.
Yeah,
they're going off market.
Wow, I like that even better, man. You don't have to pay realtor commissions.
That's right. But if you got to think about the mindset of a homeowner. If somebody's trying to list their property, you know, they're typically going to want top dollar if they're listing their property to the realtor.
Yeah, right. No, man, that is really cool. Guys, you got to check out chrisrood.com. Awesome, man. This guy is phenomenal. I love this guy. He's actually are you in Lake Charles or Lafayette?
I'm in Lafayette.
He's in Lafayette down there with the gumbo and the the Creole and all the all the crawfish, man. You got it, man. I love that stuff. That's so awesome, dude. That's the best, man. The best cooking in the United States is down there in the South in Louisiana. So, guys, you got to check out Chris. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show today. All my followers on YouTube are going to see this. We're going to push it out on Instagram, and I want them to. We're going to have all your website stuff on there. You can click on the link in the description of the video to sign up for Chris Rood. I want you guys to check that out. The guy is really awesome. He's top notch, full of integrity. I've actually met this man, spent some time with him, and like I said, Grant Cardone also endorses him. So a huge guy. So thank you so much, Chris, for being on the show today. We're really grateful for the opportunity. We look forward to working with you and featuring you on Real Estate University. We have your website. We got your number. So, guys, thank you for another awesome edition of Real Estate Insider. Chris, do you have any other final words? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, and, if they want to follow me on YouTube, I give away a ton of free content on YouTube. They can follow me on Instagram at Real Estate Rood and at Facebook at Chris Rood Entrepreneur, and then my regular personal page. If they can't afford to invest in a program, I give away a ton of free content on YouTube.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we'll have all your handles on the YouTube, on the video description as well. Make sure that everyone's following you there, and also a link to your new book. So, Chris, thank you so much, man, for being on the show today. We're really grateful, honored to work with you and for the future, and best of luck with your company and your family in the future. We'll definitely be in touch. Okay, brother?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, take care, champ. Thank you so much, man. Later. Have a good day. All right, bye-bye. Later, man.
Bye.
Hey guys, click here to subscribe to get great new content every single day. Click on that bell right there to get push notifications. Click to subscribe to get great new content from Angelo Christian every single week. Click here.